as you can read in the title, Touched. We are going to be delving into like 10 of their songs, or 7 of their songs. I thought it was 10 at first, but I must have read that wrong. But we are doing Touched, which I'm very excited. I also know that Harmony has been asking for us to do Touched for a little bit, so I'm glad we were able to do it. Sonja says, I have to get to work early tomorrow, so we'll call it a night. Stream was awesome. Thank you, Sonja. It will be up. Thank you for joining. Maybe we'll see you on Saturday, potentially. So very nice, very nice. Java says, let's go Touch. Hari says, Touch is a formerly 5-member co-ed band. Yoonmin, lead singer, guitarist, Do-hyun, keyboardist, John B. Kim, and bassist, or John B. Kim is the bassist. Excuse me, I can't read. And Seongbin is drums. Okay. Kaylee said that's why Javi Polo is in the middle of the 3 playlists. Fair enough. Java says, damn, you said 10. I almost choked on my drink. I was going to say, I thought maybe it was 10, but it was not 10. Read that too quick. Very nice. Harvey says, former member Don was a guitarist who left on good terms. The band won Mnet survival show, Great Soul Invasion. Yumin on her own had 9 consecutive wins on Kings of Masked Singers in 2020. Holy shit. The first person to do since the last record set her 9 years prior. Holy fuck. That's wild. Did you watch Mingi's solo track featuring the lead singer of this band? I think so. Yeah, I was going to say, Kaylee said we did. That was in a prior stream, but I was going to say we did. I'm almost positive because I feel like anything we've watched Touched-wise, I'm pretty sure. I know somebody's got the finger on the pulse on this, so. Very nice. Sorry for coughing in the mic, y'all. We are gonna start it off with the Dawn Star. The next one is Regret, Journey, Hi Bully, that is Korean that I can't read, Addiction, and then we checked out Last Day Before, but we are going to check it out again. So what? But we're gonna check this all out tonight. So thanks for hanging for a little bit of a longer stream, but we are going to get rolling, rocking and rolling. No pun intended. Let's check out the Dawn Star first.
저 하늘에 올라선 밝은 새벽별을 닮았어 내 어두운 밤하늘은 오직 너만 밝혀줄 수 있으니까 Like bright stars 너의 모든 별빛으로 물들이게 Lying in the dark 다친 내 맘 너로 인해 반짝이게 깊은 마음속에 들어온 너란 새벽별을 품었어 짙어진 그림자는 오직 너만
Oh, I like that delaying guitar work. That's so sick.
Whole star 내게 와서 all night 날 빛내줘 거친 새벽 하늘 그대와 찬란할 수 있게 Whole star 내게 와서 all night 날 빛내줘 Whole star 내게 와서 all night 날 빛내줘
That was sick. Nice. Very cool. All right. This was Touched, the Dawn Star. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Um wow, this was really cool. I feel like again, my only knowledge of Touched is like through other songs. Obviously, we checked out the Mingy one, but as well as that, obviously, Last Day is the newest song that they've released. Um, this was super nice. I really like Yumin's vocals. She's got such a unique like tone to her vocals that where I think I have mentioned it before in the stuff that we've covered from Touched, where I think she's got such a lightness to her voice that I really like. And I think Harmony stole my comment. For light as her voice is here, she's got a wicked growl to it in some songs and lots of power. I agree. There was like I think the true testament of a great vocalist is if you can show reservation. And obviously, if you've won a mass singer show like 9 times in a row, then you clearly have I would argue, a very strong grasp on what you can do vocally. That is not to say that that is the case, but I would like to believe that is the case here. Um, and I think she really obviously shows off that skill so well. There's definitely some power to her vocals. I would say more specifically in the chorus of this song is really where she gets to highlight it. But I love the kind of like little bit of nuance that you get in these verses. Like there's some like really beautiful undertones that you get from her voice that I feel like I didn't really get to have as much appreciation for, just because again I had listened to stuff where she's a little bit more like vocally aggressive. And I like this. This is really a unique contrast. And again, I think it shows off the amount of gambit that she has vocally, which I think is really impressive. Um, as well as that, I think instrumentally, this was really solid as well too. The guitar work was really cool. There's definitely some parts where I was just like, "Ooh, this is really nice." I love that like little bit of guitar delay section. That was really sick. And I thought that was really, really well put together. I'm pretty sure it's a Dion, if I'm pronunciating that correctly. I think he's the one to the far left, if I'm not mistaken, over here. Um, but man, that was really cool. Like a really cool kind of lead section that I was stoked about. But overall, I thought this was really good. Drumming was super sick. I think that was probably the next section of this song specifically that stood out to me. I loved a lot of the uses of like toms and like bass. I also love there was like one section where he's doing like basically like a nice like I don't want to say like a snare roll, but he's definitely hitting like the snare in a nice way. But hitting like the bell top of the ride cymbal, thought that was really cool. I love that. I love when drummers kind of do that. I don't know why, but I love that kind of rhythmic section. It always really sticks out to me more so than anything else. So I appreciate that. But yeah, overall, this was another really good, really well-rounded song that was impressed by. So very cool. Some comments here. Let's see. Jonathan says, I just didn't realize how many fans Touch had in South Korea now. I watched a song from a more recent concert of theirs and just went, whoa. And then Harmony followed that up and said, yeah, their recent concert sold out in the largest venue in Seoul in less than 5 minutes. That is very impressive. Harmony says their stage presence is extremely memorable. Last year's Pentaport Festival had some great performances from Touched and Cave 2. Very nice. Java says her voice is so pretty. And then Java says in the video I saw Touch performing highlight had the funniest crowd filming, one of the most pumped up and excited I've ever seen a Korean audience. Oh my god, that's awesome. And then Harmony says she got a performance on the rising vocals too. Yudabin was on it as well. Ooh, very nice. Okay. All right, we are going to keep it moving. The next one we have is Regret. So let's check it out.
그때 나는 왜 몰랐던 걸까 내게 줬던 끝없는 사랑을
I like the guitar effects they're using.
보고 싶다 아무리 외쳐도 이젠 볼 수 없는 걸 세상 모두 다
Ooh.
어느 날 문득 눈을 떴을 때 어린 시절의 내가 되어 당신의 그 품에 안겨서 소리 내울 수 있을까 내가 받은 사랑을 돌려주려 해봐도 이미 늦었다는 걸 돌아갈 수 없는 걸 알지만
Ooh, that piano riff is sounding phenomenal.
언젠간 나도 나를 닮은 어린 나이를 마주할 때 당신에게 느꼈던 마음을 내가 전해줄 수 있을까 내가 받은 사랑을 돌려주려 해봐도 이미 늦었다는 걸 돌아갈 수 없는 걸 알지만 내가 받은 사랑을 돌려주려 해봐도 이미 늦었다는 걸 돌아갈 수 없는 걸 알지만
Ooh, nice little drum solo.
돌아갈 수 없는 걸 알지만
All right. This was Touched Regret if you're hanging out. Oh man, this one's I think gonna be the one to beat for me. I know we're still early. We still got five more songs, but this is so good. Oh, I loved it. I love that like really that beginning gallopy sort of um that like gallopy guitar riff where like a lot of it is predicated on that like delay and like a little bit of a not a little bit a good amount of reverb in the song. So shout outs to Dion. I think he did Dion or however you pronunciate it. um his guitar work in this was awesome, so big salutes. um but man, this feels like a well-oiled machine. Like the bass in this was really sick. John absolutely crushed it. I also really enjoyed Doyeon's keyboard playing. Like there's a lot of like really 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 cool like piano melodies in this. Um Harvey says I always say Dion. Okay, for his name. Okay, perfect. I appreciate it. Um I really appreciated Doyeon's like insane like piano work. There was just so many like gorgeous like riffs that he had thrown in there like piano wise, and I just think it added like obviously he could have just played the chords for what it is, but just adding that like little bit of extra pizzazz in it was just so nice. And obviously gets to show off their skills that much more. I also enjoy Seongbin's drumming as well. He crushed it. There was a lot of fun, like little drum fills that obviously again shows off his skills a ton, but as well as that, I think obviously is very complimentary to like the song itself. And of course, I feel like I gotta save the best for last. I've already said a lot how much I appreciate Yumin's vocals, but I felt like this one like just gave me the full gambit, right? Like you got those really like soft and tender moments at the beginning of the song, and then by the end of it it's just like borderline, like I feel like she was borderline doing like the atypical like gospel voice, right? You know what I mean? Like going all out, really like really digging in deep vocally. And I love that because like I think you're going from like a zero at the beginning to by the end of it you're at like 100%, if not pushing higher than 100%. And I think that shows the testament of like again showing that level of reservation. You don't have to show all the cards at the front. You don't have to show everybody that you can sing. They're gonna know that you can fucking sing by the end of the song. And so I think she does a fantastic job of like suspending that reality to you as a listener. And then by the end of it you're like, see, I had you right where I wanted you from the beginning. So um incredible vocalist. I like I said, missed her playing guitar, of course, but the end really like again, just her just going off vocally, I think was what just like again was just so beautiful. She absolutely, you know, deserves the accreditations that I feel like she has, certainly. So Javana says some aspects of her verse kind of reminds me of the lead singer of Jarum, another female lead rock band. Fair enough. Jazz says this was really nice. I agree. Um, very cool. We are keeping it moving then. The next one we have from Touched is Journey. So let's check it out. I was gonna check out the lyrics.
환하게 빛나는 빛을 바람을 따라 구름 따라 어디서 불어왔는지 어디로 가든지 저 바람이 이끄는 대로 맡길래 날 가로막던 수없이 많은 거짓말도 하나둘씩 사라지고 내 두 눈은 새로운 세상을
Ooh, that little piano melody.
향하고
Nice.
날 비웃는 저 소리 유혹하는 표정들 다 그럴듯한 척하지만 별들을 따라 걸어갈래 어두운 세상 속에도 환하게 빛나는 빛을 바람을 따라 구름 따라 어디서 불어왔는지 어디로 가든지 저 바람이 이끄는 대로 맡길래
I love that riff.
별들을 따라 걸어갈래 어두운 세상 속에도 환하게 빛나는 빛을 바람을 따라 구름 따라 어디서 불어왔는지 어디로 가든지 저 바람이 이끄는 대로 별들을 따라 날아 저 높은 하늘 위에서 작아진 세상을 보며 더 높이 날아 구름 따라 끝이 보이지 않아도 다 알 순 없어도 저 바람이 이끄는 대로 맡길래
Oh, that was so good. All right. That was Touched Journey. If you're hanging out, thanks for hanging. Ooh. Wow. This one, oh man, I don't at the behest of saying how much I love to regret, and that one's gonna be a hard one to beat. I feel like we have yet another one that's going to be hard to beat. Oh, this is so good. I feel like Journey is like the best name they could have named this song. I was gonna say it was a journey for sure. They couldn't have named this song any better, honestly. Um, I love this. I feel like we got to hear a little bit more variation and a little bit more nuance from Yumin and just the way that her emotions carry her vocals. I felt like way more explicit in this song than I felt like maybe with the other ones, and that's again not to discredit those for what they are, but there's so much like tenacity vocally that I really love this song so much, and Yumin has such a incredible knack of being able to kind of convey those emotions so well, like in the parts within like the like the really like floaty, like very major key sorts of sections of the song, like and where she delves more into like the falsetto tones. It almost feels like you're floating in this song, like it just has this aura about it that I really love. But then once it gets into kind of like those little like rockier, like riffy sort of bits, like you get that like little bit of rock tone that she has. Like, I feel like obviously she's shown it off to varying degrees in these songs, but this one I feel like she was able to kind of put a little bit more growl on, and I like that. And then in the like in between, she's just got such a nice tone throughout the entirety of the song that I think really ties it all together and like gets you these like different ebbs and flows and like makes you feel like a part of like the song is moving and you are moving along with it. So I really, really love that. In terms of instrumentation, this is probably my favorite so far. It just got like the rocky guitar riff, that like da 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 da, like that riff was so much fun. um and it kind of gives me, this song feels to me like a combination of like a little bit of a bluesy jazz sort of vibe. I agree with Jabez in chat, but also it kind of reminds me a lot of my youth and listening to a lot of like classic rock, kind of getting a little bit of Zeppelin vibes, a little bit of like a little bit of Beatles sprinkled in there too as well. Like obviously not vocally, but I feel like there's definitely some like riffier sorts of sections that I definitely have heard from like Beatles material as well. Again, a lot of I think the guitar riffing definitely is reminiscent um like the stuff within Zeppelin. So I love that they, again, I don't know who they cite as influences, but definitely appreciate like the guitar playing for that is what it is. It gives like some, especially in that really more distorted like rock riff, kind of reminds me a lot of like something I feel like Jimmy Page would write for sure in Zeppelin's material. So um definitely love that a ton. But this one just has a good flow to it. Like there's just something about it that I was just like, damn, I'm kind of mad it's over with. It felt like it could continue going on, and I would be fully engrossed in it for sure. So, Harmony says her voice from time to time gives me some Bonnie Raitt vibes. I was gonna say Bonnie Raitt, yeah, definitely. I could hear that for sure. Um, that's a good compliment, I would argue, for her. So I wouldn't disagree. Very nice. Journey is gonna be tough. I feel like this is gonna be a tough one to mash up with, but we will try certainly. I've obviously been proven wrong with one song, so um, we will continue on. No pun intended. The journey with the next one. High Bully.
안녕 날 괴롭히던 너 좋아 보여 웃는 네 모습 여전히 나를 깔보며 짝다리 짚고 있는 너 얼마나 오랜 시간이 지나야 나의 아픔이 사라져 가벼운 너의 바람 이 나에게 시린 아픔 야 가벼운 너의 바람 이 나에겐 너무도 가벼운 너의 바람 이 나에게 시린 아픔 야 가벼운 너의 바람 이 나에겐 너무도 Hi buddy my name is George 너를 피해 도망가던 날 Hi buddy my name is George 이제 고개를 들어 널 바라본다 Hi buddy my name is George 너를 피해 도망가던 날 Hi buddy my name is George 이제 고개를 들어 널 바라본다 Hi buddy Hi buddy Hi buddy my name is George 이제 고개를 들어 널 바라본다
Very nice. This was Touched and their song Hi Bully if you're hanging out. Um very interesting. Japanese says, and I think Harmony backed this up to some degree. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I wasn't but wasn't she bullied in high school and this song is based on that. Harmony says I've heard similar but there's not much translated content from them, so I'm not too positive. If you know, let us know in the comments below. This one was very fun. I like to kind of agree with Javanez, the bluesy rock type vibe of this. I feel like this is very much in their wheelhouse. You know what I mean? This is a type of song that I would expect them to do at some point. And at some point is now. I thought it was really fun, energetic. I want to give a salute to Doyeon. I love the organ. I feel like if you got a good like bluesy rock song, I feel like a strong organ like sound just cuts through that mix so well. So shout out to Doyeon because he absolutely killed it with like those like really dynamic like organ sections. I don't know, maybe again I'll probably bias it towards my upbringing of my parents really loving like classic rock and classic type music in that genre, and I grew up listening to like a lot of Kansas. So I feel like my love of that is probably from my love of Kansas, the band. So I love that this song a lot for that reason. But I also think that just like the whole band absolutely crushed it. I think you could tell that they were just having a fucking awesome time. Dion did and a couple cool like guitar solos in this song that I was like, damn, that's fucking sick. I like that. But this is the type of music that I feel like vocally what I associate Yumin to do. So I was not surprised that she crushed it vocally. But yeah, great track. Nothing to scoff at by any means. I think it's incredibly well written, but it definitely feels very akin to what I feel like they have done so far. So very nice. We're gonna keep it a moving here. The next one we have is another Touch song. I am not familiar with this one, so if you happen to know what song this is, let me know in the chat. But let's check it out. I should have given a see her warning. This is a little crazy.
이대로 머무를 수 있다면 얼마나 좋을까 지옥에 있는 것 같아 툭 던진 한마디 물결쳐도
Night View. Thank you, Harmony.
들리지는 않아 넘어진 거물 속 불빛들은 저 호수 속에 가득 담겨있어 많은 걸 바라지는 않아요 우리 마지막일지 몰라도 오직 너와 나 둘이서 나는 그리 멀리 있지 않아 너만은 놓지 않기를 바래 아픔도 한철 지나면 시드니까 말야 돌아오기 힘들 걸 아는데도 어째서인지 흔들리지는 않아 넘어진 거물 속 불빛들은 저 호수 속에 가득 담겨있어 많은 걸 바라지는 않아요 우리 마지막일지 몰라도 오직 너와 나 둘이서 떠날까 너와 나 그냥 함께 취해볼까 우리 봐 이런 맘 잠들지 못하는 밤 너무나 막연한 그냥 함께 취해볼까 일봐 이런 밤 잠들지 못한 넘어진 거물 속 불빛들은 저 호수 속에 가득 담겨있어 많은 걸 바라지는 않아요 우리 마지막일지 몰라도 오직 너와 나 둘이 넘어진 거물 속 불빛들은 저 호수 속에 가득 담겨있어 긴 밤을 새워 더 불빛을 태워 그게 마지막일지 몰라도 오직 너와 나 둘이서
Ooh, a nice halftime section. All right. This ending was sick. I love the ending. All right, very cool. This was Touched, and it looks like based off of what Harmony has said in chat. This was Night View. Very cool. First of all, sorry if you had if you subject yourself to seizures. Apologies. I warned you. Man, this was very fun. I think very similarly to the comments I made previously about the previous song. I feel like this I would argue is more akin to what I imagine their sound would have been progression wise as we get closer to songs that I'm familiar with. Um I just think this was just like kind of, especially towards the end of the song, felt very jammy, and I like that. That halftime section was so much fun, and I think it gave so much extra room for like the instrumentals to play around, and I think that was great. Like you got a little bit of bass moment from John. Do-yeon did some like really cool like keyboard like solo. Seongbin did some like insane drumming towards the end. We got a little bit of guitar work from both Dion as well as Yoonmin, which was really nice. But yeah, I felt like this one was another one that I was like vocally like. There's only so many superlatives that I can give to Yoonmin in terms of her vocal styling, and I think that she showed a little bit more vocal aggression in this song than obviously I'm familiar with their most current comeback, but I felt like this one was like kind of the ethos of like the beginning of her really kind of delving into more of that like rasp and like tonality. and you could hear it a little bit more in this song, which I really liked. Um, Instrumentation wise, this was also really solid as well too. Like there wasn't really anything that I was like going crazy about, especially excluding that halftime section towards the end. But I think it was well written. Like they do a really great job of like giving you that type of expectation and really like landing the plane. Um, and I love that. Like I said, this is really fun instrumentally, and I would love to know what she's singing about because the captions have not been on. So that would probably isn't really a gripe per se, but would like to know at some point. So I'll have to go do my research. But um, very nice. This one was also really solid. Javana says, I still don't know how artists can perform in lights like that. I get so distracted or confused, not gonna lie. I would also agree. I've seen some fucking insane light shows and I just don't know how they do it. Harney says highlight Bad Sniper and Love is Dangerous shows off Harass in the best of their discography, I believe. Okay, perfect. We'll have to check those out in a future stream. But the next one is Addiction, so let's check that one out. All right, all right, all right.
하나둘 켜져가는 불빛들이 삼킬 줄 모르고 빠져들어 달콤하게 더 취하게 조금씩 더 조금만 더 If you want it you can have it all Just close your eyes and feel it taste it take it make it please You say you know what you never make a move but please You
Ooh.
need to get up and run away 고장나버린 우리의 떨림 무감각해져버린 현실 속에 멈출 수 없는 자극의 놀이
I just checked Harmony. It doesn't, unfortunately.
Close your eyes and feel it, taste it, take it, make it, please. You say you know what you never make a move, but please you need to get up and run away. 고장나버린 우리의 떨림.
Their music videos have been so trippy. I was gonna say another seizure warning for sure.
Take it, make it, please. You say you know what you never make a move, but please you need to get up and run and move it. Say you know what you never make a move, but please need to get up and run away. 고장나버린 우리의 떨림.
Oh, nice. That riff is so much fun. I like that guitar riff. All right. This was Touched in their song Addiction. You're hanging out. It looks like Dion is out. This must be like the one of the first songs that they had back without him. Um Johnny says, I don't know if this makes sense, but this track is super girl rock to me. Like you see a lot of female bands doing this sort of sound. I okay. I can see you. You're cooking. I'm about this. I'm seeing it. Um, I thought this was good. This is definitely something again, very similarly to listening to the final song on this playlist, "Last Day." I think when you lose a member, it's you can tell. You know what I mean? Like obviously, I liked Dion's contributions to previous Touched material, but I do feel like they did it with grace. You know what I mean? Like this is definitely like one of those hard hitting songs that is just like I don't need like I don't need what they had before, and that's not again to, um, I to me it doesn't feel like they missed a beat, but I understand that they had to play it safe, right? You know what I mean? Like when you lose a member, especially as we talked about before with Hobby Pola, like when you lose a member, or I mean, they didn't lose a member, but like if you lose a member to military or you lose a member to whatever have you, even in like Western artists, you know what I mean? Like you have to go through a tonal shift in the sense of like, do we have to think about reinventing our sound, or like, do we have to go through the process of, thinking of how we're going to move forward with this? And like I said, I think they stuck the landing. I don't think this is anything particularly bad about the song. Um, and I think obviously the focal point now more so than ever, I think, has been on Yumin, which again would make sense as well too. But it does feel very like it is very very interesting comparatively to like now knowing what their material used to sound like, and I don't want to sound like the old jaded guy that's just like I miss their old sound. They used to sound so good with their old material, but like I do understand the necessity of if you like the older material and their older sound, like this might feel a little bit dulled out comparatively. And that is not a knock to them. Like I respect that they are continuing on and doing something different, but I feel like there is a lack of experimentation that I would have really appreciated from what they do. Like, you know, I feel like there's maybe some moments in this song now it would have been like, oh, it would have been cool for them to kind of express something a little bit differently, or like give me something differently guitar wise, or like whatever. Like I that to me I think is what I view this song as, and it's a safe bet, and I think it, obviously it allowed them to kind of navigate the shift, and knowing what song is coming next. I don't think that it was a bad shift to navigate, certainly. So Harmony says to me, this is one of their more commercial sounding tracks that can resonate with that commentary for sure. Um, Harmony says it's not been said, but the imagery in some of the lyrics seem to indicate it's representative of the said seven deadly sins. Ooh, okay. I could see that. Could see that for sure as well. So, yeah, this was solid. Like I said, nothing too crazy to write home about, but it is what it is. So, we are going to move on to the last one, which is Last Day. So, let's check it out again.
몰아치는 비바람 샴페인 불꽃으로 화산을 터뜨리게 오늘은 우리의 마지막 날이야 머리 위에
I'll say it again.
올려놔자 함께
Reminds me of Stockholm Syndrome from Muse.
Last day, whoa, last day, last day. 손살 같은
That pitch shifting is so sick.
서로를 바라보고 손을 잡고 춤을 춰 보지 않을 아침과 성대한 밤이야 모든 것이 전부 사라질 때도 난 그냥 너를 안을래
That fill is so sick. Yo, Seungbin's going nuts. I love it. All right, very cool. This was Touched Last Day. Let's go. I have listened to this one already. I believe Harmony had recommended it on a previous catch up or chaos stream. I can't remember. Um, but I remember again giving my Muse comment, which I again don't want to I don't want to lump them in and say that this is very Muse sounding. It's just that like riff reminds me a lot of Stockholm Syndrome, because I've listened to that album religiously. I'll probably go listen to it tomorrow at my job because I remember how much I love it. But um, this was very cool, and I think I didn't really have the context to really talk about Touched when we originally listened to the song, and now knowing what they had sounded like prior, I feel like I have a little bit more contextual awareness to the song than I think I did beforehand. um I think this is very solid. I think if anything, it is definitely a step in the right direction. I do agree with Harmony in saying that the previous song felt very like commercialized, and that is no discredit to Touched at all. Like you got to have one of those songs that I feel like kind of either get you back on the horse or reset the clock a little bit. No, metaphors aside. But I thought this was very interesting. Listening to it again for the second time, I think there is a lot more like things that I could pick out that I don't feel like I felt were represented well in the first time that I listened to this. I have to give a massive shout out to John Kim, their bass player, because I feel like he is taking up a large majority of the mantle in terms of not having another guitar player. You obviously have Yumin doing a lot more like vocals in the new era of Touched. So I feel like there's less of an opportunity for her to play guitar and sing. And that's not to say that that is not um that's not to say that she obviously can't do both together, because that's certainly in the realm of possibility and we've seen it. But I feel like this offers a lot more opportunity for John to kind of have like a little bit more of a footprint on this song, and I love that. I think that that's great and something that I didn't really point out in this song specifically last time, and I wanted to point out this time around. um as well as that, Doyeon, I also feel like adds a lot more elementation into the song too. Again, losing a member I think is a very difficult thing, and considering they had a very I don't want to say specific sound because they've kind of gone through the gauntlet of doing different things, but I think that this is, to me, felt the most experimental. Obviously post Dion leaving the group. So I think that this is really cool in that capacity, and I can accept the variety for what it is. And then finally, Seungbin crushed it. I think, again, I know I had said it in the last time we listened to it, but like his drumming was absolutely flawless on this song, and like he really got to pop off drum wise at the end of the song, and I just respect him a ton for it because he crushed it, absolutely crushed it. But yeah, this was a good song. I think my original thoughts on it was I wasn't like, I wouldn't say I wasn't fond of the song. I liked it, but I think I have a lot more appreciation for where they're at now and how represented they are. So Javanez says K-pop and Korean music fans are too sensitive. They see someone compare a song to another and automatically assume you're trying to say the song copied is the song is copied or is unoriginal. Things sound like other things. People, it happens. Hello. I listen. This is not a jock to anybody. Like anybody that comments that. Like I said, I fully expect to get that commentary, and I'm willing to not, I don't want to say hash it out in the comments, but I'm willing to give my piece and say my story. And hey, if you feel that way about it, then you're fully in your right to feel that way about it. And if you don't and you agree, that's also fine too. I'm just some dude on the internet that talks about music. So, but yeah, this is cool. I'm very excited to see what Touch is going to be doing next in terms of their next comeback or next material. Just because I'm always curious with these types of groups, and when you again see how well they have been received over the years, you wish them nothing but the best and that they continue to do the things that they love to do. So if you like Touched and you haven't heard of them before, please go show them some love. I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. So some favorites of mine tonight. This one's gonna be interesting. I'm probably gonna say I liked Journey, Regret. Uh, those would probably be my two favorites. I would probably give an honorable mention to. Ooh, that's tough. What would they give an honorable mention to? I would probably say Hi Bully. I like that. That was cool. Um, that one I think was really solid. But yeah, I would say definitely like a tie between Regret and Journey. I think those two were the best. So very cool. Very nice. Javanez, thanks for hanging. Have a good night slash day, y'all. Appreciate it. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining. I know this was a little bit longer of a stream. I try not to stream till 11 o'clock Eastern time, but we do the things that we do. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing some love. I will most likely be streaming on Saturday. I might close up shop a little bit early, but I know I've been doing the album review stuff. So if you want to continue that train, probably could do that, or we could do chaos, whatever y'all are feeling for Saturday. But I know I got a couple hours to kill, so probably could do that on Saturday. So come hang out, find out what we're doing. And then Monday, I have no idea what we're going to be covering, but we got some new shit that I feel like always is coming out. So let me know. Give me your best recommendation. I kind of like doing these small different dives into little groups. So maybe we could potentially do that. Biscuit says the guessing chat song was fun too. Yeah, we'll have to. I do have to talk to Sarah about that because Sarah was the one who put it together last time with Diz. So I will have to ask them for the help. But yeah, very excited. I am currently working on some new either gifs or potentially emojis. I know y'all have been asking for meatball emojis, so I am working on them currently. So I'll try to throw them into to Twitch. So I will try to do that as soon as possible. I've been trying to scour through my phone of like funny faces that he has made over the years that I've had him. So we'll be doing it. I feel like it seems right. But yeah, very excited. We have not done soloists, so if you have any soloist recommendations, that would also be a good idea if we don't come up with one. I imagine there is a plethora of soloists that we have not delved into. So if you think we can cover a couple of them in one shot for an evening, then um, voice your opinion in Discord. Yuha, okay, Biscuit. Okay. We could do that. That would be interesting, but I'm down to hear it out. Kang Daniel, I would love to do Kang Daniel. That'd be sick. I've heard a lot of good things about him. I may have heard him in a H Mart in New Jersey like a month or two ago. My partner was pointing that out to me. She's like, "Oh my god, have you covered Kang Daniel yet?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Damn it, another group I can't listen to." So, um, or another artist I can't listen to. But KD would be cool. I'd be about it. If you have suggestions, like I said, drop them in Discord. And if you're hanging out and you haven't been to the Discord, come join. We are all really cool people that love music. So come join. Feel no obligation or pressure. But if you are watching this on YouTube, please follow us on Twitch because like this is why I go live. You get to see the commentary on the right here. It's great. Good stuff. So come join. But yeah, have a good night, y'all, or day, or whatever. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll catch you on next stream. Peace, y'all.